Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa nusalli ala man la nabiyya ba'di. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Alam ahad ilaykum ya bani Adam alla ta'budu ash-shaytan innahu lakum aduwwun mubin wa an i'buduni. Hadha siratun mustaqim. Sadaqallahu al-azim. Thanks and praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with whose mercy and grace and help we are able to stand steadfast on the path which is right, which was conveyed to us through Rasulullah, through the last of the messengers, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that is the righteous path. And whatever differs from that, deviates from that, is the path of shaitan. In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that shaitan is your enemy. Did I not take covenant from you? Did I not take oath from you that do not worship shaitan? Shaitan is your enemy. Worship me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the straight path. This message was very clear. When the messengers from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came before Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and when the last of the messenger came, the mercy to mankind came to this world, this message was very clear. Those who accepted, they were Muslims. Those who rejected, they were kuffar. Straightforward. When the mercy to mankind came, there were no more messengers to follow him, to come after him. His message was preserved. The last book, Al-Quran, is preserved. Doesn't matter how much effort shaitan makes, and those who assist shaitan or who are misguided by shaitan, how much effort they put in, Quran will be preserved until the day of judgment. And the message of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be protected until the day of judgment. So there is no need for anybody else to come as a messenger from Allah. But now, shaitan has given up hope. Kuffar can never overtake Muslims. Islam has been made very clear. قَدْ جَعَ الْحَقَّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. With the message, it became very clear that those forces of devil, the forces of shaitan, they were overtaken by Muslims, by Islam, by the forces of the righteousness, the haqq. Islam is the largest nation in the world who are united on the message of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Other people claim that the majority faith is Christianity or so on, but there are so many different views in Christianity that it is almost countless. So this message, the last message, has now under attack through confusion. That is called Dajjal. There is a kuffar, shaitan, and kuffar, one party. Then there is Islam and the message of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the other side. But now, shaitan has given up hope that Islam can never be overtaken. So it has changed the tactic, that is to cause confusion, bring the Dajjal into it, and those who are trying to take on the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are now creating Dajjal, they are creating confusion. In this confusion, Muslims are under attack these days. For example, just take one example, just for understanding purpose. That is what's happening in the Middle East. There are numerous groups who are fighting each other. And the so-called, the forces of peace, they are trying to create peace by supporting, for example, ISIS, so that they can overtake Nusra Front because they are bad. So support one group so that they can fight the other group. Then there are Kurdish forces and other forces. Whoever is about to lose are given more arms and more support and more ammunition so that this war can carry on. What is the purpose? The purpose is carnage. The purpose is that most people can be killed by least effort. Let them fight amongst each other. Why should shaitan dirty his hands with the blood of innocent? And whoever, the young children, the ladies, whoever is being, or old people, they're being killed. And people say, what sort of effort is it to create peace through this sort of tactic, this strategy? Oh, they are only, we can't help it. Collateral damage. The term of collateral damage, rather than being responsible, that we are responsible for these deaths. One picture is printed in the press that a child is drowned in the sea in an effort to escape the carnage from there and lands on the European beaches. And the picture appears in the newspapers. The mindset of people changes and people feel sympathy towards it, and something must be done to stop it. But then we don't see any more pictures. Even this month, the running month, this month of April, which is going, hundreds of people and young men drowned in the sea. Who's responsible for their deaths? Who disturbed the peace there? But the same thing is happening towards our faith. Pardon me for digressing, but this is an example how shaitan works. This divide and rule or whatever, that is in order to cause confusion. Today we are facing confusion to the extreme. And that is people who call themselves Muslims, those who claim to follow Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who claim to follow the last message. It should be simple that they're all Muslims. Unfortunately, they're not. People who have got nothing to do with the message of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are portrayed today as Muslims. And kuffar, there are a lot of good people amongst kuffar whose thoughts are righteous. But because the shaitan has made the situation such that there is a bad name given to the nation of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muslims are portrayed as savage people, as negative images created. And because of that image, a lot of non-Muslims who want to accept Islam, they're shy of accepting Islam. They don't want to accept Islam because it has been given a bad name. But the message of Muhammad Rasulullah, if it is conveyed in the true sense, if it is passed on as it was given by the man himself, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if it is given like that, it's so pure, it's so good for the mankind that everybody can understand and people can convert to Islam in the same way as people in their droves converted to Islam at the time of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But we don't have the opportunity, we don't have the peace. Islam is the message of peace and justice. As Hazrat said at the start, at opening the conference, that's mercy and love, these are hollow slogans if they don't come with justice. Yes, we need to spread Islam, we need peace for the world. We don't want this fighting going on. We don't want disturbance. But in order to achieve that, if the basis is injustice, then this can never come to fruition. If anything, any strategy, any plan which is based on injustice can never succeed. This is against nature. The only way to succeed is that we must establish justice. And the justice is that today, confusion is overwhelming our new generations. People are confused. Young people in the students of universities, colleges, and schools, when they are asked questions, the questions which are weighted in a certain way, it causes confusion, and they feel that maybe we are wrong. Maybe. No. Hold on to the principle that message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can never be wrong. The message of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the final message, and success and salvation is only in the message of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The only condition is it should be in the pure form. It should not be adulterated the way it has been today by shaitan. Shaitan is causing confusion. Those people who claim to be Muslims, we are peaceful Muslims, love for all, hate for none. How beautiful, I mean, can you have a message more beautiful than that? But this cloak and dagger, This deception is the problem. We have got nothing against Qadianis. We are blamed and accused that these mullahs and these Maulvis and these people, they got something against us. They don't want to live with us in peace. Let this message be passed on. In the presence of ulama, I make it very clear that we love all mankind. Somebody who does not love mankind cannot be a Muslim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrajatin linnas. We have been created for the service of mankind. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that you cannot be true Muslim unless you love for your brother. You cannot be Muslim unless you love for your brother what you love for yourself. If we love Iman for ourselves, there is no wealth, there is nothing as important as Iman. We can give our life. A Muslim can give everything up except for Iman. Iman is worth above everything else. So if we love Iman for ourselves, it is only half good. Unless we also love it for our brothers, and that is human brothers. We don't, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to a Yehudi and his son was ill and he was dying. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam offered Islam upon him, and he looked at his father. The father said, do what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was saying, although he was Yehudi. And he accepted Islam. He said, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so happy. After saying this, he passed away. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I saved one more soul from the fire of Jahannam. This is the teaching of our leader, of our Nabi, of the last of the messengers, Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we can save one soul, that should make us happy. We have achieved, we have followed the message which started with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We want to save all those people who claim to be Qadianis as well. We don't hate anybody. We hate the wrong messages. We hate the wrongdoing, hate the disease, but we should have full sympathy for the patient. Don't hate a man, a person, a patient just because he is sick. Do something about his sickness, remove his sickness. So our duty is to remove sickness. So let me just clarify, time is going on. Let me clarify what is the problem we have with Qadianis. What is let's get to the point. The problem we have with Qadianis is this deception and the matter of Dajjal. That is, we feel that we have a right, as any other nation, any other people, to have their identity and live in peace. When people accepted, a lot of people accepted the message of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and some people did not. And he came to conclusion that perhaps these people will not accept because they've made up their mind. Their business, their wealth, and other things are their leadership is more important to them. And then, Kul ya ayyuhal kafirun was revealed. Lakum dinukum waliya din. Your way for you and our way for us. Let's have peace. And that is where we stand. We need to have peace. The problem we have with Qadianis is that they use the terminologies, they use the concepts which make it impossible for us to protect our identity. When we say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we know who is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the son of Abdullah, the son of Amina. We know who he is. But when Qadianis, they call themselves Ahmadis, the confusion comes. When they say azan, come to the prayer, come to the prayer. What is the message? People think this is the message of Muslims, but it is not a message of Islam. When Qadianis say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, they mean Muhammad reincarnate. But this message is not made very clear at the outset. But those who are deceived by them, it is inculcated in them bit by bit, drop by drop, so that when they learn the truth, their heart has been blackened, and has been darkened, and they don't then have the light of Iman to come back and realize it. If Qadianis come to terms and they say, we will not call our place of worship masjid, call it something else, whatever they want to call it, then we have got no problem with them. But they want to call their leader a Nabi. And what sort of confusing Nabi is that? Ghulam Muhammad Qadiani says, Allah made me Nabi. People said, how can there be a Nabi? So he gave reasons and he argued about it, and he could not stand his claim. Then he said, okay, if Muslims feel upset by that claim, cross that wherever I have written that I am Nabi, cross that word Nabi from there and replace it by Muhaddath. Cross it out and replace it by Muhaddath. But do accept me. How confusing can be? He made so many claims and then he broke them. He made so many predictions and which came wrong. And then people said, look, he said, if my prediction comes wrong, then I am not from God. I'm not Nabi. I'm a false person. And curse be upon me, and so on and so forth. But when those predictions did not come true, then they made excuses. And they said, oh, Atom hasn't died because he has accepted Islam in his heart. What I meant was he will die before me if he is still kafir, if he's still on his claims. But inside, although through his words, he is continuing and repeating his claims, but inside he has accepted the truth. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What sort of deception is that? So problem we have is Mirza Ghulam Ahmad was the biggest deceiver and dajjal of his time. But if it hurts the Qadianis, okay, that's the truth. If the truth hurts, what can we do? There isn't a lot. Okay, if you want us not to repeat that, fair enough. Let's change the line and say, so you stop deceiving us. You accept your place of worship, something other than masjid. You accept that you are a community which is separate from Muslims. You accept that you do, whatever your strategy is, that you do not want your people to mix with Muslims, then we are at peace with you. You have your way. Lakum dinukum waliya din. This deception, Qadiani creation, was a political stunt. The cult came, it was made by the occupying forces in the Islamic lands. And the Qadiani Mazhab was created, in which a lot of people, out of their simplicity, they got deceived. And they, without realizing, they were taken over by this cult. But this was a political stunt. Look at the harm it has done to Ummah. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made us one Ummah, not many fragmented groups. The harm, because a lot of people are from Indo-Pakistan background from here. So let me give you a simple example. Pakistan was created a new country out of India. We're all aware of it. If there were two countries, this is your land, this is the boundary line, this is the border, you live on that side, we live on this side, there would have been peace. But in order the powers to be, they knew their reasons and how they wanted the future to be architected, designed. They created this problem of Kashmir. The Kashmir problem could not be there until there were supporting arrangements. Supporting arrangement was Kashmir is right on top of Punjab. Punjab was majority Muslims. But then they wanted Punjab to be split or go to India. How could that be achieved? The only way it could be achieved was that people in Punjab, east side of Punjab, vote against Pakistan. In order to achieve that, it was easy to take Sikhs on this plan, But also, people live in Qadian and in those areas. They were led by Qadiani, by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad and his son Bashir. His son Bashir, because Mirza died by that time, Bashir Ahmad, or Bashiruddin Mahmud, he decided, he said, Qadianis or Ahmadis as they call them, you are instructed by your Khalifa to vote against Pakistan. We are separate from the Muslims or those who are asking for Pakistan. We are separate from them. We must not join that. So they voted against the concept of Pakistan. The result was that Punjab was separate from Pakistan. It went into India, and the land above it, Kashmir, it became very easy for that to be taken into India. Because all the water came through there, all the rivers start from Kashmir. That's a natural phenomena. So when Kashmir went there, Pakistan became dependent. It could not remain as independent as it would have been if Kashmir was part of Pakistan. Then there would have been peace. We would not have been fighting for so many years. But this deception was caused through whom? Through Qadianis. In the Middle East, the only so-called Muslims, or the people who call themselves Muslims, but we don't accept them because they are a different nation. They are the nation of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. They have the center in Israel. Muslims are not allowed to go there. Those who go for Baitul Maqdis, they are guarded and under surveillance. So in this sort of situation, this fitna is causing us problem. And the only way of peace is that they accept what they say in private. They should say it, accept it in public. That they are a different nation. They are followers of Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. When they say that they are Ahmadis, they mean people of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, not people of Muhammad Rasulullah. For us, the message of the last messenger is sufficient. It is protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nahnu lahu lahafizun. Inna nahnu nazzalna zikra wa inna lahu lahafizun. So that is sufficient unto us, and all these deceptions should be taken out, and they should accept there are different community, they are separate from Muslims, and then there is no problem. The target is, our problem is this deception, and we object to this lies, and we ask for truth. If you think love for all, then please show it in your action that we are a separate community. We are then all at peace and there is no problem. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us on that.